Gen V episode 5 was like a fever dream episode, and rightly so, because mind control is a big part of this episode's overarching theme. In the first 4 episodes, we saw Marie Moreau and her band of freshman friends uncover a deadly conspiracy on campus and realize that their friend's brother's life was in mortal danger. But at the start of episode 5, they've forgotten all about it, and while we think we know what's happening, by the end of the episode we realize we are all Jon Snow, in that we knew nothing. The entire script has just been flipped on our heads, and we are here to break down everything that it means for the students of Godu and the larger world of the boys as well. This is Gen V Episode 5 Explored. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Stay the fuck away.
Did they get roofied or roofused? The Godu gang forgets everything. At the end of episode 4, we got cut off mid-fight scene, and when we came back, it looked like we were all living in a different world. Marie was snuggled up with Jordan in their female avatar and looking hella confused. But we learned that that's because the group somehow ended up at a massive party instead of being at Dr. Cardosa's house. In fact, they don't remember anything about the fight that they had with Sam, or who Sam even is. Andre wakes up Kate, and they wake up Marie and Jordan, and Marie finds a supersized Emma lying in a pool looking like she was going through the worst hangover of her life. None of them know how they got there. All of them do know one thing though, they have no idea who a guy called Sam is. After Marie and Emma regroup, Sam finds them at the house party's location and tries to apologize for going berserk in the last episode, but he quickly realizes that they don't remember him at all. He talks to Emma directly because she was the one who saved his life, trying to jog her memory by bringing up the woods and the Stardust Drive-In where they took shelter after they escaped. But he sees that she doesn't even know who he is. Sam, being a resident of the woods, knows that she's been mind-wiped and promises to make her remember that she's a real hero before leaving to find evidence. The gang reconvenes in the backyard of Dusty's home, and all of them realize that they have massive gaps in their memories. It starts with Jordan, then Kate agrees, then Andre realizes it wasn't just the partying that made them black out like that. Now, if you guys have seen The Hangover, this would seem like a classic case of Alan being Alan, right? And given that this is Godu, it would make sense that whoever is trying to make all this go away would just roofie the kids, because soups are all junkies anyway. But when the group reconvenes, sans Emma, they all realize that they have been missing chunks of their lives from the past few days. Andre remembers blowing off his Hayley Miller interview, but he can't recall he was trying to save Sam then. Kate remembers talking to Tet Knight, but she can't recall him interrogating her. In fact, Marie brings up Sam directly and Kate doesn't even react to it, which is weird considering that she was his brother's girlfriend and had seen him at Sage Grove as well. Then Kate whips out her phone and points out that Rufus was at the party, which makes Marie think it's all her fault because she tried to protect herself from his creepy assault attempt, even though she can't remember why she went to him in the first place. Rufus does have the power to wipe people's memories as a telepath like Kate, so he fits the bill, and later on she tells her friends a story about how Rufus molested her as a freshman, so the target is locked. We even see Rufus talking to Indira Shetty, and Marie and Jordan chase after him at one point in the episode, which makes it seem like Rufus had been working with the Woods project for a while now. This makes the second big subplot of this episode even creepier because the Woods project might be getting a brand new addition, the real reason for its existence. After having half his security staff killed and his home life threatened, Dr. Cardosa tells Indira Shetty that he's done with Sam Riordan. He wants nothing to do with him, and that golden boy, their true mark, was dead anyway. Cardosa doesn't want to babysit psychopaths anymore, but Indira reminds him that it's his entire job description in the first place. And besides, experimenting on soups isn't exactly a great skill to put up on Cardosa's LinkedIn profile. She plays on one of the most primal instincts of a man, chasing greatness to get him to do what she wants. Despite being afraid for his life and being aware of the fact that he isn't paid nearly enough for this crap, Dr. Cardosa is the mad scientist of the show for a reason, and that reason is revealed in this episode. Turns out, the woods isn't a research facility meant for perfecting the compound V formula to a level where it can be used stably within adults, as many have speculated. It's for something far more sinister. Cardosa is actually working on creating a virus that would allow Vought to gain full control over a soup's actions, which would create the worst army in the history of mankind since the Nazis in World War II, if this battalion is being led by Homelander. Creating a virus that is stable enough to be inside of a soup's body and stay functional for as long as Vought needs it to be is a very difficult process, however, and Cardosa's inner evil genius needs a replacement for Sam anyway. He proposes using Marie Moreau and claims that her abilities are so rare that she cannot fathom how powerful she truly is, and we see instances of this in the episode itself. In the first episode of Gen V, Marie was shocked that she could control the blood of another person when she saved a woman's life. But now she can tell whose blood is underneath whose fingernails with a single look, and can even determine someone's menstruation date by using her hemokinetic abilities. She made her mum's body explode unconsciously as a child and Rufus's penis semi-consciously as an adult. It's possible that her genetic makeup is what holds the key to Cardosa's soup virus, but Dean Shetty denies his request. Not because she's grown fond of Marie over the time they've spent cosplaying as mother and daughter. Oh no, the reason is far more dangerous. Emma is the real hero of Gen V. Over the course of the series, we've seen Emma come out of her shell as a girl with an eating disorder into a cricket that is actually a superhero. She used her size-shifting abilities to save Sam's life not once but twice, and although she started off hating her powers, she is growing to like them now. Emma has been kept by her pageant mom of a mother on a strict diet ever since she caused some kind of an incident at the in-universe pizza chain Buster Beavers as a kid, and she was called a monster for it. Our guess is that she just ate some extra cheesy pizza like any kid would want to, and her mum just went ballistic because it wasn't the Emma she wanted to see. But after saving Sam in the last episode and then spending many days partying in a giant form, Emma is embracing her powers and realizing that she is actually far more heroic than anyone ever gave her credit for. She is the one who takes all of Sam's talk about there being evil people at school seriously, and when she finds the t-shirt she took from Stardust Drive-In after their escape, she realizes he was right about everything and immediately sets out to save him again. Emma connects with Mari on a personal level by getting her to admit she likes Jordan either way they present themselves as, and is delighted to learn that people are actually interested in an IP titled Giant Cricket. When Sam starts going crazy and fighting Vought operatives sent to capture him, thinking they were puppets, it was Emma's puppet apparition that encouraged him to get out on his own head. Heck, she invokes Dave Chappelle when she sees Marie scratching her shoulder like a crack addict, and causes one of the most important revelations in the series so far, before finding Sam and discovering the real reason none of them could remember a single thing they'd done in the past 4 episodes. We'll talk about both one by one.
I know how this sounds, but they put trackers inside of us.
The whole gang is being tracked by Shetty and Marie's life is in danger. The reason why Marie kept favoring her left shoulder the entire first half of episode 4 was because she had a tracker implanted within it. She realizes this when she rips it out of her shoulder using her blood powers, and immediately realizes that none of them are safe. She does the same for Emma and goes to help out the rest of the gang, but she doesn't know the kind of danger she is in herself. The only reason Marie Moreau isn't strapped to a table having her organs harvested for testing is because she's got some mystery benefactor protecting her. It's a rather ambiguous moment from the conversation between Cardosa and Shetty, but the reason she rejects his request isn't because she doesn't want to give him what she wants, it's that she can't. Who could this mystery benefactor be? Well, a couple of names pop to mind. Ashley Barrett, for one, who is so obsessed with ratings that any points she can score with the NAACP right now would get her in a hair-pulling frenzy. It's just sad she doesn't have hair anymore. Another person could be Victoria Neumann, for reasons that should be kind of obvious if you think about it. Vic is only cooperating with Homelander because she absolutely has to. She approached Starlight with a proposal to betray him towards the end of season 3 before joining up with him, and she only did that because Homie has leverage. But Vic and Marie come from the same place, the Red River Institute, and that connection could run deeper than we think. We'll find out for sure by the time the series ends, but it's clear as day that Marie's life is in danger because Indira doesn't indefinitely reject Cardosa's request. She only rejects it for the time being. Later on in the series, we find out Marie has a Black Noir-style tracking chip embedded in her left shoulder, and so does most of the rest of the gang. We say most because one of them doesn't have it, and it turns out they're the one who has been doing all of the manipulating in this episode whilst directing their friends in every other direction.
It's you.
Kate betrays her friends and will now have to pay the price. From the beginning of the episode, Rufus was the one on whom the mind wipe ordeal was being pinned. It makes sense if you think about it, because he was approached with a plan to oppose Dean Shetty, though he didn't know it at that time, and then he was seen fleeing after having a word with her and paying a shapeshifter to take on his form to seal the escape. Rufus, when cornered by Andre in his room, begs for his life and says that he never touched any of his friends, but Andre isn't having it, and we saw him very nearly violate Marie just last episode, so we aren't buying it. Andre also finds himself at Vault a burger after trying to attack Rufus, so it still implies that he's the culprit. But when Marie goes to Kate to tell her what she's figured out and how she might have a tracker inside of her as well, we realize that the mind wiper is actually Kate. This makes a lot of sense because Kate was the one who directed everyone towards Rufus in the first place. It's possible that she made up the entire assault story to solidify her own cover because she looked around at her friends questioning why Rufus would do this and knew she needed to come up with a solid reason, and quick. This also explains why Golden Boy suffered a sudden psychotic break and why Kate used to turn up all exhausted in the initial episodes of Gen V, where she'd often claim she pushed too many people. Turns out she's been working with Dean Shetty this whole time, and she's been doing it since before Marie even got on campus. It's revealed that Kate was regularly wiping Golden Boy's mind to make him think his brother was dead. And Luke must have figured out what was happening at some point because he made that suicide video for a reason. It wasn't to just inform Andre about Sam's existence, it was to take that power out of Kate's hands as well. It's likely that once Vought operatives saw Kate instantly decommission a threat like Sam at Sage Grove, they knew what she could be worth to them, so they used her powers to their advantage. You guys remember how Indira Shetty tried to get Marie on her side by acting as her therapist? Well, as it turns out, she's been doing that to Kate for a while now, and it's so bad that Kate, who doesn't want to be this horrible monster anymore, just caves when Indira opens her arms and ditches at her whimsical tales. The reason why Kate did this, as far as we know, can only be one. She wants to get her brother back and make things right with her own family. Kate tries to tell Marie she shouldn't be feeling guilty about what happened in her past because her parents gave her V as a newborn and they basically paid the price for their own greed. But now that we know what she's done, it's like she was talking about herself at that moment. If Kate did everything just to get her brother back, it would make a lot of sense because she moved on from Luke to Andre very quickly, and though she thought she wouldn't use her powers on him, she clearly has been for a while. Even Sam is aware of this because when Emma meets up with him, he puts 2 and 2 together and realizes why Luke never came to save him, but Emma did. Kate was always glued to his hip, and Emma lets the rest of the gang know this as well, which causes all of them to now view her as a monster. It will be very interesting to see what is made of this whole situation in the next episode, because as things stand, the students have an upper hand over Dean Shetty. They now have the tools to piece together Vought's entire plan, and they've also found the mole in their party. All that remains is for them to rally together and create a plan that causes tangible change on Gordiu's campus.
I never...
Marvelous verdicts. But as for this video, that's about all we have. What did you guys think of Gen V Episode 5 and its shocking revelations? Let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Andre!
Stop! It wasn't him.
It was Kate!
Bullshit, Kate would never do something like that.
Andre, don't!